retweet.
Should we go somewhere?
Yeah.
Alright. Retweeted.
Is there a road called This Is the?
This is the.
It can be way.
This is the lane.
This is the road. This is the street. This is the
Stay
way.
in your lane. No.
There's a
Stay
road
in your lane.
in Revendreth called Decimation Road.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That drove me a little crazy because it was very. Although maybe it was appropriate because it was kind of nice. You know, maybe it was just like 10% less nice than it could have been.
That's right.
So
All right. Ooh, wrong channel. Wrong channel. There we go.
But then, lever.
let's go to the Guild Stronghold. Let's just go to the Guild Stronghold.
There we go. All right.
All right. Let me get down to that channel.
Yep.
The typing sounded like hackers.
Oh yeah. Well,
We're in.
Rain. Max, Muko, McCullough, Tatsumi, Sema. All right. Yes.
What did we do in MFN this week, Max?
Terra
We
from
did
Beyond,
Terra from Beyond. That's right.
which was fun.
It was. Just because I don't remember doesn't mean I didn't enjoy myself.
Did you want to try moving the servers around, or is
That's what I
already
say
did
every
that?
Sunday morning.
I don't think it
Saturday
did
night
anything.
blackout.
Let me. Hang on. Where? How does it look?
Because right now, SWTOR looks like a mosaic painting to me on Max's screen.
What's interesting is I'm good, you're good, McCullough's good. Max is a
I mean,
little
if you
off.
if you stay still, you look fine. But if anybody moves, you're pixelated. They're like
Weird.
everybody shake your head, and then everybody's
Yeah.
like super pixelated.
The ship is shaking. The ship is
Hang
shaking.
on, let me see. Yeah, I am not dropping any frames, so this is 100% Discord. Okay, where?
Okay.
Okay. Well, can I take us to another? No, I can't switch servers.
Oh, because we're doing
Because we're in
a
video
video car.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
gonna just drop and start it again and see what happens.
There.
No.
Who started this thing?
I did.
Like, who's in charge? Oh wait, no, it's up there. Region.
Where?
Region. Upper right.
Let me
At least on my screen, there's a region.
hang on.
Upper right of
Inbox,
Discord.
help.
Oh, you should see focus, more, region, US West.
Oh, region US West. There we go. Okay. Yeah, let's take us central. Let's see if that helps.
Oh, great. So we're going on max time.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, there
Great.
we go. All right.
Yep.
Much better.
That looks good.
There we go. Now we're solid. Okay. How's the chat room? Usually Seema tells us if we look good, so we're gonna have to rely on the other chat room.
Yeah. All right. So, how by the time I find it, someone will post it.
What's that?
How are we looking? Thank you. All right.
All right, there we
Are we-
go.
are we ready
that
to
looks
go?
Much better. Thank you, Mew. Max is back. All right. Seema, no kitchen
Oh.
incidents. We're good.
For the moment, could happen at any time.
Did she mute herself?
You still there,
Did we
Seema?
lose her?
I do not hear you.
I wonder if the region resetting muted her mic. Hang on, she may have to click things.
Maybe something is on.
I don't know. Am I?
There you are.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
All right.
Heard something.
9 by 9.
5x5.
5 by 5. This
By
is the way.
9.
All right. Should we do
All right.
this?
Yeah, and everyone went pixelated again. All right.
Yeah.
It's Seema. Seema sucking your bandwidth.
I know. Yes.
Her
The
audio
war-
is just overpowering everyone.
Force
That's
grinding us.
an audio podcast, though.
Yeah, I mean it is. So,
To deal with it.
yeah, I
What do
mean,
we got? Let me get some chat rooms going.
yeah, I think I think it's just going to come and go on the Discord call. So, I'll
All right.
let's see. Drop frames none. We are streaming. Everyone can see us. Okay. Take us live, Heath.
All right. Going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On this episode of the AIE Podcast.
We have your holiday gaming schedule update.
ESO is undaunted.
The future is rewritten in stone.
There's no place like Frost Bluff for the holidays.
For you to say. And we have Seema and Max here to talk to us about AIE and SWTOR.
Hey guys.
All that and more. Yes. All that and more coming up right now.
Bringing you the latest news from the AIE gaming community from planet Earth and beyond. This is the AIE Podcast.
Right, welcome to episode 357 of You celebrating the... Wow. Rewind. Welcome to episode 357 of the podcast celebrating you, the Aaliyah Octa gaming community, the Diasbin podcast. This is Makala. And to my left, downstairs and slightly over is Tetsumi.
I have spreadsheets, but they're not helping. Not helping at all.
Got it. And to our right and down or over a few states is Miyuko.
Greetings, Mallwalkers.
Nice.
Impressive. All right, and this week we're joined by our very special guests, Seema and Max. We're here to talk to us about AIE and SWTOR, and undoubtedly, wow. Welcome,
Mhm.
guys.
Hey.
Hey there.
Yes, a little wow.
How's it going?
Just a little.
Little of everything.
Little.
Just a little. This is probably going to be the longest "What have we been doing in game" ever, because an expansion came out. So I'm going to go ahead and start with our guests alphabetically. So Max, what have you been doing in and out of game?
Still doing a bunch of Star Wars stuff. We've got our fun stuff. We'll go into it in detail, but the usual guild night kinds of things. We've got that going. We've got some stuff on the PTS. Seema and I were playing around in there quite a bit. We did a show on that. Doing our ops team is still running on Thursday nights, so that's all been good. And then in between all of that, especially with a little bit of time off here around the holiday, around Thanksgiving, I've been hardcore in Shadowlands. So I've got my hunter, through 60, through 3 layers of Torghast, through gear level 150 something. Not yet up to heroic, so just under that.
153,
But, yeah.
154 probably.
Yeah, plenty of time there. And it was doing a bunch of pre-patch before that, which we can talk about that too. So tons of and then every other AIE game still just checking in. I've been still doing a bunch of dual universe, check in on ESO every once in a while. I missed the Guild Wars dungeon night. I kind of wanted to do that, but the kids were in town, so we were doing stuff there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss Star Trek night tonight, but I did that last week. Final Fantasy, check in there just a little bit, although I haven't done a map night in weeks. Lord of the Rings will be pretty casual for the next couple weeks. Yeah, so all of them, just everything.
And I think, didn't you have some family in town and watch The Mandalorian?
All the kids are in town. My daughter's back from college. My son is out from the city. staying here for he stayed here for the week. He may stay here for a little bit longer. And then my older daughter, just because she's taking her CPA and then she's going to starting work in January. They're all here now. My daughter and I have been watching every Mandalorian episode every Friday night, pizza and Mando night.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got to do it with everybody on Friday, and
Very cool.
oh, it's good. It was good. I was so happy. I yelled some things out, and they didn't know what I was yelling.
Oh yeah.
I'll try not to spoil it, but there was some cool things to yell out. And
Yeah,
stuff.
some stuff
Like-
happened.
There
Like
is no
references.
try. Succeed.
God,
Yeah.
oh my God. Like, you know, like we knew it was coming in the beginning. And then at that end,
Yeah.
I squealed like a rabid fangirl.
Yeah, when there's a name reveal, which isn't, which I think is just something to throw out there and just some lore to pull in, but
Yeah.
and just like an Easter egg, I don't think it's going to impact the story.
Oh,
But just
But the
fun-
fact that they're
fun-
pulling
fun
in-
no, I
and
think
stuff.
it is. I think it is.
SWTOR lore into this story.
Well, that too, that piece.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, because they don't
So-
talk about that planet very much in the recent stuff, right?
No.
Right.
Because
Well,
I was
there
like,
was a couple.
I know that name.
Yeah.
Well, so we're getting too far into
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
we won't mention
There
it,
was
but
a specific.
Fine.
A specific
Stuff happens,
SWTOR
and
name.
things happens, and people were there.
Yes. And it was glorious.
They did
Yeah.
things. They interacted.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was done. It was also done very well, as always.
Yes.
Yeah,
episodes
the
have been so
music,
far.
the
Mhm.
music in that episode still stuns me.
And the set
The
pieces,
music
the
was
transitional,
really nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
like going from place to place, like the set pieces just really told you how things were happening in the one place, and then how differently things were inside. It was just
yeah.
very well done. You can definitely tell what they were trying to portray with that way things were set up.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
it was a lovely experience.
So that's me.
Awesome. All right. So Seema, what have you been up to in and out of game?
Well, I mean, ditto on all the Mandalorian stuff.
Mhm. Oh yeah, yeah.
I will say that we also do Mandalorian and pizza. My family, the family that I have locally here that's in my bubble, we do that. And we have come up with this thing where at first I thought I wasn't going to like it, but what we do on a Friday night is we order pizza and then we watch last week's episode again, and then we watch the current episode.
Oh,
And so
nice.
it's kind of cool because we get like that little rush from the binge watching thing where you can hit play next,
Yeah.
Yeah.
even though it's
You
kind
know,
of
you've
a
just seen it a week before.
yeah. It's a little bit satisfying in that respect, and then we sit around and geek out on all the. And it's kind of funny how people who in my family that are not really Star Wars nerds are like, well, who's this and who's that, and sometimes they're telling me, which is I think hilarious.
That's
because-
amazing. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Oh yeah, and they very smartly made the show so that you don't have to. In fact, like the show itself doesn't know its own lore on purpose.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
A
Oh.
friend of mine mentioned in our Big Geek Girls chat. She's like, I don't know the lore piece of what I'm seeing, but I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Mm-mm.
It's like I don't know the names because haven't watched what preceded this, but I'm liking it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I could talk more about the Mandalorian, but we'll just skip over that because yeah,
Spoilers.
And it we do try to keep it around an hour, and we still have a lot to
Yes.
go over.
and we
and-
don't want to. Yeah,
We
we don't
could-
want to step on anybody's spoiler
Yeah.
toes.
Exactly.
Yes.
But things happened, and there was fights, and lightsabers were dropped. Wow, and names were dropped, and music was amazing, and we learned names, and yeah.
Yes. The big thing for me this week, I don't know about you guys, but was American Thanksgiving.
Yes.
So we had a good time with that. I did this thing where I have this this idea in my mind that I can't make a decent pie crust, and every time I try, something disastrous happens. And so this year I volunteered to make a pie because I'm dumb, I guess. So I spent like 3 weeks leading up to Thanksgiving practicing making pies.
Hey,
And
that's
I
tasty.
made, by the time Thanksgiving came, it was a thing of beauty, this pie I made. So I was
Amazing.
very happy.
Nice.
It was a coconut cream pie.
Oh my
Oh,
god, sounds
nice.
amazing.
it came out really nice. So that's my big story of success. I mean, you know, you gotta if you want to learn, you gotta try. And I just,
Do or do
You
not.
should have videoed it all. You could have had like your
Yeah.
own web series. I mean, that's like it's like a big
Seema
thing.
makes a pie.
Pie.
yeah. I mean, one time,
Pie time.
one of those
Pie
attempts was
time with Seema.
like it's like a Lucy, I Love Lucy type disaster.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to
Not
ask if
actual
there was
fire.
a Nami situation in the kitchen, but yeah.
Yes, Nami. Yeah, absolutely.
Or
But
Nami.
or Nami. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, so in well, we're going to talk about SWTOR, so I won't go into that too much. But yeah, I have had my toes into WoW this week too, which I did. Yeah, so we're going to talk about that as well. So let's just move along.
But once we give the WoW news, we'll have you guys go into the what you've been doing in WoW.
Okay.
That makes a lot of sense.
I
and
think
it's
it's how we're
probably
going to
very,
do that.
very smart for us,
Yes.
which is unusual.
Yes. Yeah. So Seema, I do have a fun antidote about the whole pie thing. I
Uh-huh.
had the same issue. I could not make a pie crust to save my life. And you know, I come from a pretty long line of really good cooks. And I'm a pretty decent cook and a baker. But I've always had an issue, so I've been for years buying the pre-made pie crusts. I'm like, okay, I make everything else. And our daughter was in junior high, and she took like a 2-week summer cooking course. And she comes home and she has this piece of pie that she'd made, or like she'd made like in a group. And she shared it with us. She goes, "Hey, Mama, you like that pie crust?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's really good. It's nice. It's buttery. It's flaky." I'm like, "Yeah, that was the part that I made." I'm like, "Really?" Really? So that was I stopped buying pie crust at that point and just figured it out.
Yeah.
Challenge
I mean, that was kind of my
accepted.
feeling too. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't have anything against buying them, but I just really wanted to make it.
Yeah, totally. It sounds like it was amazing.
Yeah, came out great. I'm happy.
Awesome. All right, so Mia, what have you been up to?
Since we're not doing WoW, then nothing. Never mind. So my cooking adventures. This year I decided to brine the turkey.
Mhm.
Oh.
So that was quite the adventure. And we used we started using a service before all the fun stuff happened, called ButcherBox, which brings your meat to you.
Oh,
So-
yeah.
yeah, and it's really high quality meat. And then we also have another one that brings our vegetables to us, which is Farmhouse, I think.
Farm Box Direct.
Yeah, something like that. And so, but ButcherBox brought the turkey, and then Farmhouse brought some of the sides. So, yeah. So, I actually watched and read up on brining turkeys, and got a big old cooler, and I didn't know that Ziploc made bigs that zag, bags that big.
Yes.
But yeah, you throw it in there and brine it, and brining is very interesting and has some interesting ingredients. But yeah, the day before, you leave it in there and soak, and the next day you cook it, and it comes out all juicy. And yeah, it was quite the adventure. It's kind of nice to. I mean, that's one of the things that I've really embraced during our fun times is cooking a lot more.
Yeah.
Just
Nice.
I just have the more. I mean, the fact that my commute is opening my office door and going
Yeah, it gives you
downstairs.
a lot more time to do.
Yeah. Yeah, so now I can cook, and it's just been enjoyable. So yeah, that was pretty much the focus of the week was can we brine this turkey and get it cooked just right? Because
Awesome.
I wasn't expecting it, but they sent us a pretty big bird.
And and you guys have a small family, so
Yeah. So it was just the three of us, and I'm probably the bigger one into the turkey of the group. So yeah, we still have turkey. So
Leftovers.
yeah,
The
today
best
was
part.
we've had 3 days of leftovers, but tonight we finally had a break and had just some old fashioned McDonald's. And had a Big Mac because I hadn't had one of those in years. And which I know it's silly. It's just a burger with Thousand Island dressing, but it's
Yeah.
Special sauce. That is
Yeah,
It's
special
secret
sauce.
sauce. Yeah, special sauce.
Yes. But other than that, definitely all in on WoW. Kind of been taking a break on some of the other games because I was kind of using them to
hold you over.
well, not just hold me over, but and I'm glad I did it. But like when my raiding team stopped raiding, I kind of stopped playing WoW. I just stopped really touching it because I didn't realize it, but I was essentially burnt out.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
walking away from it, what was it, like 3 months or so?
Yeah.
When the pre-launch event happened, I was actually excited to do it, which was like baffling. Wow, this is actually fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I definitely, because I don't normally play enough that it burns me out, but like apparently it did, and now I can enjoy the game, and I'm definitely on.
I think BFA burned a lot of people out, honestly.
It
Whether
did.
they
It
know it or
did.
not.
Yeah, and it was one of those like you don't realize what's happening until you're already deep in. But
Yeah, and
yeah.
I think that's the nice change they've made for Shadowlands is literally if you want to keep up, there's like 3 weekly quests to progress your covenant, and everything else is optional.
Yep.
You're like, okay.
But that's the focus for me, and I guess if I keep talking, we'll probably end up getting dragged into WoW. So that's enough for me.
True. All right. So, what have you been up to?
So non-WoW stuff. Hyrule Warriors came out on the Switch, and my daughter and I have been teaming up and playing that. We've done 2 of the Divine Beasts, and we've got 2 more to go right now. So this is the pre Breath of the Wild, Age of Calamity version of like what happened right before all that. And so it's fun. It's 2-player. They do the split screen top and bottom. Gets a little confusing, but that's me. And we're having fun. Unlocking a lot of characters. Get to play and power them up. So that, other than WoW, as I took the week off and told
He did.
So did
McCullough and our roommate and my daughter, this is where I'm going to be for the week. If you need me, I'm right here. So, but we got everything else done, and Thanksgiving was amazing. The apple caramel apple pie with the homemade caramel was deadly.
I totally want to make that.
Yeah.
I'll send you the recipe, love.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
I did learn that. Speaking of apples, I did learn that turkey apples are a thing.
Oh, because I always stuff the pot, or I always stuff the bird. But since my mom wasn't coming, I didn't have to stuff the bird, and I didn't have any citrus. So yeah, I did the exact same thing.
Someone said make sure you put an apple in there. It's like apple. Yep. I have an orange in there and some onions. Like put an apple in there. Like,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, it helped a lot. So we had that.
I'm glad you explained, because I thought turkey apples was some kind of euphemism.
Right? No.
Roadkill. No.
Yeah.
Road apples.
Heather also made pumpkin tarts, little, about that big pumpkin tarts, and because we weren't able to gather with her mom, who usually brings a cheesecake, a friend of ours that came bought a pumpkin cheesecake, so we had plenty of dessert. But we had a spread for Thanksgiving and food for days.
Yeah.
And now the remaining turkey is going into
pot pie for tonight.
A turkey pot pie with homemade puff pastry. Oh,
there you go. Good. That to keep the
because I don't
pastry going, keep the pie crust going.
Yep. All right, but McCullough, what have you been up to besides making all said food?
Making all the food, croissants, puff pastries, pie crust. A lot of stuff. I've been rolling a lot of dice, because the great thing about Thanksgiving week is we actually had plenty of opportunity to game. We did not game last Sunday, because our DM was getting ready for Shadowlands, and he wanted to get a full night's sleep. But we did next to last session of our current adventure in Call of Cthulhu. So we're having fun traipsing through India. My character is both the she's kind of like Indiana Jones, but also she's female, and she can be the damsel in distress or rescue the damsel in distress. So that was kind of fun. We're dealing with a cult, and we finally were able to get in there, and we're to the end. Thursday we actually, my regular Thursday night D&D group, we did a Call of Cthulhu one-shot, which was loosely inspired by Children of the Corn. But we had to deal with the great gobble gobble. He who gobbles. Set in
Gobbles between the
1923.
rows.
Exactly. That's exactly what we dealt with.
Behind the
Um,
rows, yeah.
Are you
And
taking notes, Max?
What?
Are you taking notes?
He who for my DM adventures?
Yes.
I don't know. Did the DM kill anybody? Otherwise,
oh
it's not
no.
making sense to me just
Remember,
yet.
no, it's much more fun, Max, to give your players permanent trauma.
Emotional.
Yeah,
trauma.
yeah. That actually sounded pretty good to me. I saw your note on that.
No,
I'll take it.
I
I'll write
promise.
that down.
As a 30-plus year player, it is much more fun to traumatize your characters forever.
Yeah.
Your players
Yeah,
forever with what you do to their characters.
A death is instant, and then they re-roll, but
Exactly.
mental scarring,
Crippling
for-
fear.
The
for
gift that
terrible
just
times.
keeps giving.
Yes.
All right, good.
So yes, we did the he who gobbles between the rows. We started the game at 8:00 at night. I am not 25 anymore. We finished at 12:30 because we wanted to do a one shot, so we wanted to finish it in one sitting. I'm a little too old for that.
That's a long.
And then
session.
speaking of traumatizing your characters forever, Saturday we actually discovered in our regular D&D game, we discovered my character's secret origin, which is descendant of a corrupted angel. So, see, that's how you traumatize your characters forever, or your players forever with what you do to their characters. So that's what we've been up to. Let's go. We're gonna chat about WoW in a few. We're gonna chat about SWTOR in a few. We're gonna briefly cover this week's news with some intersparring between what everyone's been doing in WoW.
Yep. So, this
News
week's
bumper?
news?
This week's news.
AIE News.
Sorry, I was
All
waiting
right,
for
in
the
community
trigger.
news. I know, right? I said we're gonna, okay. Anyways, community news. First of all, welcome Nicholas of STO and Fleet Action Report fame to the newest AIE officer. Condolences, congratulations.
Yes.
Condolences. Yes.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. And we have your mandatory fun night list. Now these may be changing depending on holidays going on. We're gonna go ahead and let you know about those in the game news. But on Sunday, WoW Classic, Sunday Fun Day, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Sunday STO right now, 8:30 Eastern Time. Monday Guild Wars 2, 9:30 Eastern Time. Tuesday, SWTOR, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Max. Tuesday, Final Fantasy 14 Casual Rating, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Wednesday, Final Fantasy Fun Night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Thursday, Final Fantasy Progression Rating, 9:30 Eastern Time. Wednesday, ESO, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Friday, Final Fantasy 14 Late Night Fun Night, 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Saturday, Lotro, 9:30 Eastern Time. Saturday, Final Fantasy Maps, 9:30 Eastern Time. And Saturday, Noob Rating, 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Did I miss anyone?
No, I think you nailed
Plenty
it.
of good stuff.
All right.
Awesome. All right.
That's cool.
And in streaming and guild podcast news, The Escape Podcast, episode 361, Spirit of Vengeance. Max and
Never heard of
Sina show
Those
off and talk through the.
losers.
Wait, did I skip? Nope. Okay, sorry. We show off through the Spirit of Vengeance, the new Flashpoint in 6.2 on the PTS. And then
Yeah.
in Fleet Action Report, episode 19, Klingon Defense Force, Nikitas and Griebog take on the Klingon Defense Force as it takes the stage by storm. They're bold, they're gruff, they respect power, and they're honorable. Sounds like the Horde. Anyway, Fleet Action Report 20, PvP, oh my. This time on Fleet Action Report, Nikitas and Griebog delve into PvP and bring along some friends. While we do private match PvP, we do discuss STO PvP scene and some things you want to know to get started. And in Working Class Nerds, episode 88, SOTOR live stream breakdown with Innistar. 6.2 was announced and broken down today with live stream from BioWare. Marcus sits down with Innistar from this week in Arabish. We break down the live stream and even get into some tinfoil hat stuff about plans for SOTOR's 10-year anniversary. And
God,
yeah,
really?
it was 10 years. It was tinfoil hat, trust me. But fun.
I just can't believe SOTOR's been around that long.
I know.
Well,
Yeah.
it's 9 years now. It's
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now is 9 years. The 10-year anniversary is going to be next year.
Next
and they-
November.
But still.
They've been like planning it out for a year and a half.
Yeah, weird.
Everything about it is just speculation
Yeah.
right now.
Well,
Yep.
except for one thing that Keith kind of leaked on
Keith.
the stream.
Yeah.
That's true.
Is the current executive producer of the game, and he kind of leaked at least one thing, which nothing too dramatic, but kind of hinted at graphics engine updates.
Which would
so
be
we don't know exactly what that
amazing.
means, but he threw
Mhm.
it out there, and I'm sure his marketing team is like all mad at him
Exactly.
for saying
Well,
that,
you
but
know.
that's what he did.
That's why they kept him off
Yeah.
the stream until they announced the Steam launch. They didn't want him dropping hints.
Yeah. It's actually interesting. The 10-year anniversary is kind of fitting because it was 10 years ago that I was working for Blizzard, and we were all excited for SWTOR that was about to come out. So,
Nice.
Yeah.
and we were actually forming guilds and everything inside of Blizzard because we were like all pumped up. It's like, yes, finally a big time competitor for us. Because that's the funny thing about these game companies is they're not at each other's throats like some people want to think.
Nerds. You want
Yeah,
something. You
we're
want
all
something
nerds.
fun. Yeah.
That's just it.
More.
Yeah, Blizzard has a big thing of don't just play your own game. That's not how you get good. Play everyone else's games.
Yeah.
It's one of the things that I enjoyed. That it was an interesting time. Especially all the Star Wars fans who are the biggest making all the much noise.
That also, being Star Wars is such a Star Wars is such a huge part of so many of our geek DNA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's fun. Speaking of fun, over in Nomads, Destiny 2 news activity has been a bit higher. I suspect probably because of the expansion that came out. But nothing to report on the AIE activity front, just general activity is up. As a reminder, beginning on the 1st of December, which is, what is that, Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday. Battle.net accounts will no longer be supported for user sign-ins to the Bungie website or the Destiny Companion app. Additionally,
really?
Yeah, they're finally disconnecting that.
I've been ignoring those emails. I
Well, it's good that it's here.
I probably shouldn't because I only log in with my Battle.net account into the Bungie.
That goes away. Yeah, you're supposed to be doing straight Bungie if you're doing Steam.
So do I gotta like switch over my account or connect my account or something?
You should have already done that because you been playing?
Well, I guess I did connect it because I can log into the site and that kind of thing, but
Yeah, because at some point
check it
you better go check it out quick because they're definitely shutting it down. As a related thing, you'll also want to make sure you did it because anyone that has the old PC only membership with a Blizz account to our clan, the AIE clan, pre-Steam migration will be kicked from the clan to free up room for more member applications. You can always be re-invited should you return and get everything fixed up via the clan page. But we have a link in the notes if you want to get to that page. So yeah, just they're finally doing some little bits of account cleanup stuff, so to be expected. But yeah, I want to say, what was it, like 3 or 4 months ago?
Yeah,
was when they started doing all the moves over.
Yep.
So yeah, that's all it is. It's since it's no longer related, they want to go ahead and connect all that stuff. Also, if you are a Destiny 2 player and you happen to have Amazon Prime, there is a Prime Gaming reward for Destiny 2 currently available. If you just go to the Prime Gaming sites, gaming.amazon.com/loot/Destiny2. And then over in that other D game, Diablo 3, Season 22 is currently ongoing. If you want an invite to the Nomad clan or the AIU community, please ask in the public Discord channels in the Nomads channel. Or you can just bug Duris because he's somewhere around there.
Yeah, and do a
Best friends
shout
and
out
everything.
in Nomads because I haven't seen many people talking about the latest Diablo season, but I know we have some people that do every season. So
Yeah, there's definitely some diehards that are playing.
yeah, do a shout out and let people know, because people might want to group up and that kind of thing. Be good to see.
Right. And in WoW news, just a reminder, New Braid is on break and will resume on January 9th at 11 p.m. server time, so people can take time leveling in the expansion and enjoy the holiday season. The AIE WoW block party was a great time, both on the Horde and Alliance side. Thanks so much for Gusty Tail for heading up the shindig. If you're feeling overwhelmed by all the new systems in Shadowlands, WoW has a really great guide. There's for week 1, once you hit level 60, there's a link in the show notes. And reminder to use the Guild Finder and search for Elia Octa S on Earthen Ring US, either Horde or Alliance. Once your application is approved, you'll need to go in and accept the invitation.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm sorry?
I said absolutely. And did
Yep.
you want to discuss our week in WoW, or did you want to go
Oh,
through
yeah.
Classic first?
Let's do Classic real quick, and
Okay.
then we will go into your guys' week in WoW. WoW Classic, the UO raid team cleared BWL for the second time. Join us on MC on Saturday, BWL on Sunday, and starting with AQ40 with 1 of 9 bosses so far. Guild chat is connected via Greenwall with United Ogremore, so feel free to chat and group to level up with our friends. The Vanilla Sunday Fun Days are starting a tentative holiday schedule for November and December. Keep an eye on the Discord channel for updates each week. And due to the time change, they are currently starting at 1 p.m. Eastern. And if you're in active in WoW retail, that means you're able to play WoW Classic too. Let us know if you make a tune, need a guild invite, and to get bags to get started. All right, so that's our WoW news. So here's the big question: what have you all been up to in WoW?
Everybody wants.
Everyone at once. Okay, no. We're gonna go. You, Max. So okay, again, Max is gonna start. We're gonna go alphabetically.
Well, I think the key question for everybody is what covenant are you picking, and then like what else have you done? So I picked the Chiss. The Chiss with wings, because they've got some really cool droids, the big gold droids that are.
Get your resting Chiss face out of here.
So I'm playing. my
No, the
hunter,
Kyrian
and
are
not-
very much the Chiss.
Oh,
Absolutely.
okay.
Oh yeah, they're quite just like with.
Yeah.
But yeah, just Chiss in general. Oh, I just recalled out of Bastion.
Oh no.
I can fly back. I meant to stand in front of my Chiss friends. But I'm on my hunter. I've been focusing on the hunter. I wanted to get. I'll end up doing a druid and a hunter on both sides, but I'm on an alliance hunter. I did that, so that's where I've been doing everything so far. I wanted to get as deep into the end game as I could to understand it, because there's a lot going on. The thing with this expansion, yeah. So I kind of figured out the maw and and I look up the
Targast.
currency tab. Stygia. In the
Stygia.
maw.
Stygia in the maw. Yep.
Stygia, you gotta like collect that so you can buy the things
Currency,
that
that
affect
thing, and that
both
currency,
Torghast
this currency.
and the maw.
Yep.
Then the maw is kind of annoying, I think, because you have that, you can only do a couple things before you get kicked. You basically get killed, and if
Punished
you die in
for
the maw,
doing stuff.
you lose Stygia.
You can get it back though.
If you get back to
If you run
corpse.
back to your corpse,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but don't get to 5. I mean,
No.
But if you get to
Then you get
level
escorted
5, Eye
out.
of the Jailer, then you're kind of
Yeah, if you do too well, you're punished for doing too well.
Yeah.
Right.
If you do too much, yeah. And so I was like following a group around, and they were like killing a couple of the rares, and
Yeah.
you realize really quickly you're capping your levels there. So
Yep.
The idea
if
is
you've got
not
something
to
to
be
do-
noticed.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, and it's luckily it's each thing that you do. You could stand around there for forever and nothing happens. It's each thing
Yeah.
you do.
Yep.
But a tip for anybody, if you have something that you need to do, like the rune carver sends you there to do a thing, go do that first. Otherwise
Yes.
you're gonna get kicked out before you can do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then there's Torghast. And Torghast, I had to figure out Torghast. I didn't realize that floors were different than layers.
Yep.
So I was like being real careful in layer 1, because I got up to like floor 6, and I heard 7 and 8 are really hard, and
Right.
was really easy, but I was still going really slow just in case I was going to discover the hard part. And
Yeah.
and then I got to the end, killed the boss in layer 1, and I'm like, this was super easy, and now it's telling me I'm done. Where's 7 and 8?
Yeah.
But then I
Next
figured
week.
out layers. I went through layer 3, got some ash just on the one side. I got to do the other side.
Yep.
Then you got to figure out your conduits. You got to figure out the rune carver and what your legendary is going to be. You got to cap your soul ash. You got to collect your conduits and progress your covenant. And
Yep.
yeah, it's just
It's a lot of stuff.
a lot of systems.
Yeah.
And honor. I guess I got some honor too. Why did I get 800 honor? I did Alterac Valley once but although
'Cause
that
why
did did not give me the weekly progression.
You picked up the
for-
weekly PvP in Ouroboros.
Yeah, 1,500 honor earned in random battlegrounds, and I guess Alterac Valley doesn't count as a random battleground.
I think it's considered a what do they call it? There's new terms. There's the standard, and then there's the premium.
It's
rated.
epic, or
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so that maybe
So-
those don't count.
Yeah, so the epic don't seem to count as the normal.
But that is
But
a pro
that's
tip.
that's what I've been doing. So chists
Make-
and robots. That's me.
Excellent.
Make sure you go
Who
to
else?
Good job,
once you hit
type.
60, go to Ouroboros, pick up the PvP quest if you're gonna do it, but also pick up the 2 dungeon quests for the weeklies. You go talk to the innkeeper in Ouroboros, and they will send you to talk to the other 2 quest givers. Those give you 135 or 175 anima each towards the 1,000 you need for the week. So, and those are weekly.
35 times 5. I'm looking at it right now. I've got it.
35 times 5 is 175.
And then they give you get to pick one of a 500 reputation token for a covenant.
Exactly. And most of the reputation stuff, once you get to honored, you have access to the majority of what you need. There's some
Almost
stuff
everything
in
except the
revered
mount.
and exalted, but most of it's at honored.
Yeah. And most of the normal stuff, except maybe some of the armor and the mount, I think, which is exalted. But yeah, I've been selling a lot of stuff too. I picked
Exactly.
up herbalism and mining on this.
Oh yeah, that's a great
hunter,
way to
Yeah.
just
and
keep your
just
pockets lined.
sold everything, and I probably made at least half, if not 3/4 of a WoW token's worth of gold.
Nice.
Sweet.
Out of it.
Yep.
So
Okay, so Mew, what have you been up to in WoW?
Pretty much carbon copy, except with a paladin. Through all the juggling once the pre-patch hits, I kind of felt it definitely felt like paladin was the way I was going to go this time around. Whatever reason, I don't know what they did to druids, but they just don't feel the same. They don't feel quite as the potency just isn't there. So I'm pretty much focusing on the paladin because it gives me the same stuff that the druid gave me basically. But I went with Bastion because I mean it does seem stereotypical that paladin
would goes to Bastion. Yep.
Yeah, but like the ability that they give you is just so satisfying, and I did do the whole story, so I got to try everyone's ability for paladins. And while the one in Revendreth is good, the cooldown is just so long. 5 minutes is a long time to wait for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's the one in the Kyrians give you is like a minute, and it's just so satisfying. But it's one of the things when they improved the sounds and the gameplay for paladins a while back, like throwing those shields around is a very satisfying sound. The really nice dong, and hammers have a good thunk to them. And the Bastion ability is you throw out 5 of those shields all at once, so you get all those satisfying thunks hitting everything, and it does interrupt whatever they're doing if it's interruptible, and it does a decent amount of damage. So it just felt right. And then the little steward they give you is pretty useful. You call him every 5 minutes, and
the Ewok with feathers, you mean?
Well, I
Yes,
mean,
yeah.
he's adorable.
yeah, but like the first thing he does when he shows up is he hands you three potions. and those are pretty powerful potions. It's kind of like it gives you like warlock stones with bonuses, but friends with benefits kind of things, because it like takes off poisons, curses, bleeds, like it wipes those out. So like it's really powerful, especially if you're doing raiding and dungeoning. Like you pop that potion, self heal, and it removes whatever thing has hit you from a boss. So it works great. And he does other funny things too. Like you can tell him to go tell your friend how awesome they are.
Only one.
And they get a buff.
Yeah, and they get a buff.
And then the buff lasts for 24 hours. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So
And they'll play a
Play me
song for
like
you.
here.
They'll
So
follow
So it's
you
kind of
around
like your own
playing a
personal
song.
cheering squad.
Yes.
Yeah. See, right there on Max's
Your hype
screen.
man.
For those that are watching the video, you can see he's currently playing a song for him.
Yeah.
There's
It
like
is your own hype man.
8 or
Yep.
so different ones of them that you can choose. Too.
Yeah. Well, and even some more so. So then, the cool thing about this covenant going into Torghast is, so some of the abilities you get actually will actually even focus on your companion there. Like there's an ability, I think it says turn your companion into a cheerleader, and when he's out, your entire party runs faster as he's cheering you on.
Yeah.
And then there's one that'll turn
Love it.
into a healer, a pocket healer for you.
Mm-hmm.
So all the time it's
Great.
out, it heals you as you're going through Torghast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's,
And the stuff that it lets you do, the divine toll is what it's called, the one that throws all the shields out. There are a lot of abilities that in Torghast that will then buff that and do crazy things with it. Like one of the more fun ones is the one where every time you pop your wings, it throws out your divine toll, and when the wings are over, it throws out a divine toll. So you can get 3 all really quickly all of a sudden, and you're just throwing stuff out. And so you can run into a full pack and they're dead with all of those shields bouncing around. On top of your actual shield you can throw out too.
Yeah.
So it's very satisfying gameplay so far. So I don't know. There's a lot of back and forth between you want to do Revendreth because that 5-minute cooldown is super powerful. Yeah, it's super powerful, but it's not as fun. It's
Mhm.
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, you're healing a little bit, and it hits them pretty hard. Okay, now you gotta wait 5 minutes. Whereas I can throw all these fun shields, and I can actually my soul mine abilities, which is a whole other layer of stuff to get into. But one of the paths that I can pick makes my consecration heal whoever's in it.
Oh,
So I
nice.
get the 5-minute ability constantly.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. It's satisfying. It fits very well. Yeah, I can definitely tell that whoever worked on Kyrian definitely made it to where it just fit the paladin mindset very well in every aspect.
Yep.
So that's just been interesting. But I'm looking forward to going through on some of my alts. I have a blood elf that I've turned into not night elf. What are they called? Nightborn. Because we have Night Fae now, and so it's just everything's night warrior. But yeah, I turned my blood elf into that because it just that character to me it's a hunter. It's always been kind of a snooty character.
Well, that works thematically for you.
And that character likes to collect fancy things, including pets. Get all the craziest combat pets they can. All the spirit beasts, all the kind of the way back when I got, if you know, Death to Lilac is a very distinct purple spider, giant purple spider.
Yep.
Which is just really cool looking. But yeah, that I think that one is really going to enjoy Revendreth because of all the crazy parties they throw over there, because that's what they're known for. But yeah, I'm looking forward to going through all of these covenants with all these characters. I do want to try to keep at least 4 going. Probably try to keep 1 going on the Alliance side just to see if there's any differences. Although so far, there doesn't seem to be a difference in faction. It's probably a good thing. Like that's what we did. We did difference of class, difference of faction. Now it's difference of coven, which was kind of a curveball they threw us.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but yeah, it's been fun.
I like the fact that it seems to have really renewed your love of WoW, because I know, like you said, you've been struggling for a long time with that burnout. So that's wonderful, being such a long-term WoW player, that it kind of it hits all those buttons that you have.
Yeah, there was a time that I was getting real close to just saying, because I also still play Final Fantasy 14 quite a bit. It was almost getting to a point where it's just Final Fantasy 14 has been consistent in keeping me happy, whereas WoW has kind of been like, here's some great stuff, now I'm going to ignore you for 3 years. Okay, here's some great stuff, now I'm going to ignore you for 3 years. Whereas Final Fantasy 14 has had this very consistent cadence. It's not too fast, not too slow. It always feels like home. But I do have the good times with WoW, and it's good to be back in that swing.
Excellent. All right, so Seema, what have you been up to in WoW?
So, yes, a lot of the same stuff and a lot of the same. I got very overwhelmed by all the different systems like Covenant and Torghast and the Maw and factions and what do you have to do to not be behind? And
Right.
I kind of got a handle on a lot of that now. But I did a thing, which I leveled on the night that the launch was out with some real world friends. We went all night long.
Wow.
I got to level 58, and then I crashed at that point. But they went on to 60. But I haven't done that in probably since WoW was young.
Right, right.
And I do not have it in me, I found out. And plus, I don't know anything about the story because we escaped out of every cutscene.
Oh,
Gosh.
So I will say though, when I came back after a couple of days, because that's how long it took me
to
to recover.
Yes.
I
We're
was
not young anymore.
I was finishing off that's right. We're finishing off that 58, 59, 60 levels. I went to Ardenweald, and I chose Night Fae, and there's this part where they do a play version of everything that happened at the end of Legion and then through BFA.
Yes, it's adorable.
It's
I need to do
adorable
that.
and it's hilarious, and the audience are saying things like, "Wait, the world has a heart?"
Yeah.
And he did what with a sword? Is it still there?
Yeah.
Thank you.
And it's right.
Yeah. Sore
And
point.
that was just so cute. I really enjoyed that. And then I was saying before the show that I really, really love the special ability you get from the Night Fae, which is basically, as a druid, what it does is it casts every ability you have in a 4-second period. So basically, you're just going boom, 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 boom. All the heals, all the attacks, melee, ranged, spells, abilities, and they get buffed. If you go inside Torghast, that ability gets buffed, like Mew was saying on his ability. And it's just, that's really fun, because if you get in trouble, you just push that button and everything's dead.
Yeah.
I love, love, love that. But now I need to go back and do it again so I actually understand
The story.
why I'm in, why I am where I am. So I learned from this experience that I don't like doing it that way. I'm going to go back to my old method next time
Right.
Go
of
back to
playing
the
at my
Seema-
own speed.
Go back to the coffee and
I mean-
contemplation method.
Yes,
Yep.
I
Yeah.
thought it would be cool to be one of those kids in the beginning that was already 60, and that is kind of cool, but not as cool as
Sleeping?
yes,
And knowing what's going on.
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
as cool as sleeping.
And I
And
will-
being able to talk in the sentences and do the walking and the talking and the functioning as an adult thing.
So I'm
Yeah.
glad I did it, because I learned, I don't have to like stand on the outside next time and go, oh, I wish I had done that, because now I've done it and I know I would rather do it that
No
other
more
way.
FOMO.
Yeah.
No.
You've done it.
Yep. So that's what I have ahead of me now, is to do it on another character, and this time watch the cutscenes and get the story
right.
and
Yeah.
Do it like
Um,
a normal an adult does, or a
a person with a
non-
life and the responsibilities and all
somebody that
stuff.
doesn't need to be server first.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah. Right. And I knew I was never going to be server
Ah.
first anything, but I just wanted to, because I'm always so behind, right?
Right.
Like when I got to Najatar last time in BF8, there was nobody there
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
And so
that's a pain.
I don't want to be that late again.
Right.
But there's
Balance.
more choices than just, okay, now be first.
Yeah.
Right. From there.
Which is leveling at your own pace and enjoying the story and getting all the
Yeah.
story in, but being focused on the leveling piece of it.
Yep.
And savoring it. Yeah, because especially Ardenweald itself has probably some of the best story.
Yeah.
And I have enjoyed doing the little puzzly boxes, like the treasure chest where you have to run over a mushroom and it shoots you into the air. And
Yes.
although I have to say, I do not like when I can see where I want to go and I cannot see how to get there. I
Yes.
hate that thing. I hated it when I first ran into it in Stranglethorn Vale, where you have to run around a mountain like 6 times before you find
Yep.
the path that goes up, because
Bastion does that
I
quite a
wrote
bit too.
I wrote a webcomic on that this week. I'll find it and pop it up here before we go.
okay.
Yeah.
Comic, but
Revendreth, Ardenweald,
Oh
and
yeah.
Bastion all have that huge layer difference.
Mhm.
I actually scared someone that I got a message from because I was heading towards a world quest and it was in Bastion, and I'm like, oh, it's down there. Okay, warrior, heroic leap. I just rode right off the cliff, and somebody had grouped up a bunch of mobs. And I'm talking like there's a 4 seconds for you to fall, so I can kind of see, all right, where do I want to land? And somebody grouped up these quest mobs. So I heroic leaped right into the middle of them. Well, I saw as I'm falling, this person, you see them look up because the mobs were flying, and this orc is just plummeting right at him. And I just got this message: "You scared the bleep out
That's
of me."
funny.
I can
And I
imagine.
apologized, and I just said, "Sorry, I don't have rogue's death from above." It was my closest, thing. But yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I got this toy early on that gives you slow fall. So
Oh.
I
Mhm.
jumped off of something because I'm going to use my toy so that I can gently float down, right? Well, it does make you fall slowly, but only for like 7 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then I did it again, which that didn't work. I did it again because I thought, I didn't think that it's been like 5 minutes. Surely it's off cooldown. No, it had a 20-minute cooldown. So that time
It's
I
a
just
toy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I actually got a different toy. So I thought you had got the same toy, but it must not be. So I got a toy in Revendreth that is very thematic to what happens in Revendreth, from one of the main characters, and it actually lets you do a very stylish slow fall, and it seems like it has the same cooldown as the Goblin Glider. So
Yeah.
Interesting.
No, this is a little bit different. And
Okay.
to make things make things even worse, I did have Goblin Gliders in my bag. It's just I wanted to use the toy because it's
Right.
So you're not an engineer? I mean, what is that like?
you just go to the AH and you buy Goblin Gliders, and you don't have to spend
Oh.
hours leveling engineering.
Oh yeah, so you just go to the robot in the town and talk to the auction house robot, right? You get those?
Yeah, no, I just use my Brontosaurus.
Oh, okay. That's a lot of gold.
Yes, it is.
It's money over time.
Like Max, that's exactly it.
That's exactly
yeah,
it.
this is my amazing art abilities in my webcomic that I created. I'm sure
But the thing is, rogues with grappling hook and warriors with heroic leap can actually get up there. They made
and
the
Revendreth
gaps big
ability
enough that you can actually do that.
That's why I'm sad I didn't pick the Revendreth one, because their travel or whatever the bonus ability is exactly that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does that exact thing. So
cool.
Well, the Night Fae have a transport network within Ardenweald that's built on.
they all do. They all have some kind of a transport network.
Oh, okay, that's good to know.
But only for if you belong to them.
To that covenant.
Yeah.
So like Venthyr, it's the Blood Mirrors, and
Mhm.
Ardenweald.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Revendreth, or not Revendreth, Maldraxxus, it's the big portals that you go everywhere. Yep.
And Bastion has a hexagon every so often that you can click, and it kind of does like a flight
Star
network,
Trek
but it's instant.
teleporter pad.
Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
exactly.
Definitely.
See, they're chiss.
Again, this is
Yes, that's it.
this
That's it.
sci-fi.
That's the one.
And do my
Yeah.
beam me up, Scotty.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the standard.
Wait. Yeah.
That's the standard one. The other ones are instantaneous teleports.
Yeah.
There's so much.
in the middle of Hero's Way, there should be an instantaneous one.
There's so much mixing mythology here. I'm wondering
Yeah.
if we can like get Battlestar or something else in here while we're at it. All
Well,
right.
Well, no,
It's-
the armor
it's the
looks like
Shadowlands.
Cylons.
Yeah,
The
sure, yeah.
Kyrian
Yeah.
armor looks like Cylon
Okay.
helmets.
That makes
So-
sense.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
It's the infinite afterlives. Like there could be anything in these places.
Yeah.
True. Again, back to our geek DNA.
Yeah.
right. So, Ted, I'm gonna go to you. What have you been doing?
Pretty much the same thing, except I chose the Necrolords. I went to Maldraxxus because they are the defenders of the Shadowlands, and that fits my character 100%.
Yeah, Warriors perfectly.
Yeah. So I did Maldraxxus. My Druid's going to Ardenweld. My Arms Warrior on the Alliance side is going to Ardenweld. My Rogue is going to Revendreth. Blood Elf Rogue. Come on.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Makes sense.
My Paladin and Priest are both going to Bastion. I'm taking the Priest through first. And my Warlock, I think my Warlock's going to Revendreth as well.
I think that fits well too.
Yeah. I did not look at any of the powers or any of the class abilities or anything. I just said, thematically, this character, headcanon, goes here. And that's where I went.
Mhm.
So, consequences be damned.
That's a way
I'm
to do it.
sorry.
That's
Yeah.
a way to do it, but
Yes,
I
I know.
I kind of like that. I mean,
It kind of feels like that what they did is if a class felt like it would thematically fit, they tried to make it to where that would be, if not the best, pretty close to it. Because that's the thing
Yeah.
I've noticed that what they've done is it's not always going to be the best combat, period. It might be the best at raiding, or it might be the best at dungeoning, or it might be the best at PvPing, or it might be the best at just being a jack of all trades. Like they did a pretty good job of spreading it out. So
Yep.
you won't feel like you picked the wrong choice. It might be the wrong choice for this one individual thing you're doing right here, right now.
So, Seema, you said about being overwhelmed by all the systems. I was as well, even having played beta. But
Mhm.
the change they made this time was, if you think about I always say B of A.
B of A.
BFA, they added in the corruption. They added in the essences. They added in, all this stuff.
Yeah.
Instead, what they said is, no, we're just going to give you all the systems at the beginning and then grow them so that you're used to them as you go through the expansion. And that's why it's so overwhelming. It's not just focusing on like the Covenant and then adding in Torghast and other stuff later. It's just, no, here's all the systems you're going to have for the expansion. If you're used to them, then you're fine and you can just progress on. So I kind of like that. We'll see how it is, but I agree completely. I was overwhelmed, and it took me to today to feel like I was finally on top of things and know, okay, here's what I need to do weekly. Here's what I need to do if I'm going to do things daily, that sort of thing. So
Yeah.
I'm at item level 153. I've run a couple of the dungeons. Gotten some good gear out of that. Interesting stories in the Maldraxxus and the Bastion dungeons. I like those. They're fast too. At least the normal ones. They're short. There's not a lot of trash, or the trash is skippable, and they're fast. It's almost, I'd almost equate it to a SWTOR Flashpoint, in that it's 4 bosses for both the first 2. And
yeah, they're pretty good that way.
yeah,
I
like the
only
Bastion one, the 3rd boss, there's a lot of trash you have to clear in the room, and then the boss itself spawns more trash. But then as soon as you're done with that boss, you immediately teleport up and kill the 4th boss with no intervening trash or anything. So they preloaded all the trash on the 3rd boss, and then you go to the 4th boss and you're done. So
I think what they've done is they've finally learned from the fact that they have these Mythic Plus stuff going on, is that they've made it to where if you're not there for Mythic Plus, you can just have the experience you need to have. They're not punishing normal players with Mythic Plus stuff. So as a Mythic Plus player, you have to get so much trash. Well, that's your problem now. You have to go off the main path to get the amount of trash you're supposed to have to finish the Mythic Plus.
Yeah.
If you're just a normal player, no big deal. You follow the path, you get done, you're done. I think that's great because that way you don't feel like you're being forced
Punished.
to slog through all this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're learning. They're what they're doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah. And so I took my 3 alts through the Maw, took them to Orbos, and chose the Thread of Fates for them and said, I picked this Covenant. And now you level them up through the story of the Covenant, the world quests, and the callings and that sort of thing. So we'll see how that goes. And then I'll take my Alliance Arms Warrior, replay the story. She's going Night Fae. So I want to see the story again, even though there's no apparent difference on the faction. I just want to take her through the story and get the gear. And then that. So I've done.
So
I got the 2.
That's interesting.
What's that?
For people that the Thread of Fate, the skip, the
Yeah.
story skip.
So
I liked
if you
how, and I didn't realize this until I saw the breakdown. Just in the last 2 days, which was you can play through the story as long as you want until you get bored of it, and then you could do the story skip.
yes.
Oh, that's good to know.
So you can't go the other way.
No.
If you do the story,
Once you
story
pick
skip,
Threads
you're
of Fate,
done.
That's
it
it.
marks all that done.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I
like
mean, that's
but
one
you
thing
can-
that I've always really liked about SWTOR is that you could completely level just doing dailies if you wanted to, or just doing
Yes.
PvP, or just doing
Yep.
the story. I mean, you
Well,
didn't.
and-
You never
and
had.
Star Wars. You can go back and play the story that with all the latest expansions.
Yeah.
You can go back and redo the redo the chapters of story, which is kind of nice. Which is
It
what
is,
you can't do here.
Yeah,
Final Fantasy
so-
14 actually recently added that ability too, where you can go back and do the original stories as your current character.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So
But the ability to at least start the story on an alt, which that's what I'll probably do then. I'll probably start the story some, see, and then when you get bored, just then do the skip.
go to the Threads of Fate. Yeah, I just wanted to keep the Covenants current on them because you can work on the Covenant story while you're leveling up, so you can at least keep up.
The anima and the progression, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know
And-
how they're gonna do not Torghast, but the Maw portion of it as you're leveling up, and that's one thing I want to explore. And then the other thing I really like is that they call out the main story quests separate from all the side
Yeah.
quests. So if you're interested in just doing the main story, you can, but be warned, you're going to hit a point where it says, no, you need to be this level to progress further or to get the next, quest. So
Yeah.
make sure you're
Good.
doing something.
But the thing that I learned with my playthrough is, so I knew that I was going to likely pick Bastion for my Paladin. So what I did is I went all out on Bastion. I did
Right.
every side quest
Everything.
on Bastion. I did I did the dungeon stuff. And then for the other ones, I noticed that I was already ahead of the leveling curve. So I basically stuck to the main story after that, and it was perfect. Like it let me end at just the right time. I hit 60 pretty much near the end of the Revendreth stuff, and I was good to go. So that felt like a perfect way for me.
I
see,
like
my
that
issue was I hit 60 in Oribos, turning in the Ardenweld final quest. So I did all of Revendreth as 60.
Oof. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Cindy, go
I
ahead.
really like that they made it very clear what the main story was, and that was one of the things that Ian Hazacasta said in one of their Q&As is that they didn't make that clear enough in BFA, so you didn't know which quests you had to do to get that achievement where you finished the story for that zone, so that you could then later on do the war campaign, or that you could do what you needed for Pathfinder. So I really love it that it's very clearly marked.
Yeah.
And I think you definitely do need that because as gamers, we tend to be completionists. So
Mhm.
that way
Oh, yeah.
it gives you an idea of, okay, no, focus on this part first, and then you can go back and take, follow those other threads.
I
Yeah,
mean, and just because, we're supposed to talk about SWTOR a little bit.
We are.
They've been
we'll get
doing
there.
that in SWTOR for a while now.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been very clearly marked, and it's
do
been
like
designed in the same way it's designed here, and Final Fantasy does this too. You do your main story quest in Final Fantasy and in Star Wars, and you're leveled.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
shows
Right.
and it
You
shows
don't
you
have
what
to do with the
what's
extras.
what.
Yeah.
Right. Or you could do the planet story and then you're leveled. Or you could do
Yeah. So I think that's about it. Like I said, the systems are overwhelming, but I think I've got a handle on it. I helped somebody on another Discord that was kind of confused. Like, I can only literally play 2 days a week because I'm a truck driver and I'm on the road for 5 days. How behind am I going to be? And I said, you're not. You can probably knock out the Anima quest through world quests and running the dungeon and the other thing, in 2 days and not feel like you're behind. So that's the other thing I really like about this.
Yeah, because it'll allow us to play our other games because we have so many other games.
That's what we do.
Games.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we probably
we're gonna go back to the news. I know. It's a really interesting format. I like this format though when we have so much stuff going on. All right, we're gonna go back to the news and we're gonna go Star Wars in a minute.
Yep. So let's continue on right now, though, with the ESO news, and we'll get to SOTOR at the very end. All right. Recent MFNs in ESO have been focused on clearing zones of sky shards, exploring delves and public dungeons, killing world bosses, and dungeon runs. They've continued the tradition of following Kenny off cliffs and getting lost while searching for sky shards. Shocking. The Undaunted event runs from December 3rd to December 15th, which is an event focused on 4-person instant dungeons and the daily delve quest from Balgrol. MFNs will be focused on doing the daily delve quest as well as splitting into groups of 4 to tackle the aforementioned dungeon. The first one of the day will include 3 event tickets. Please feel free to raid the guild bank for your items that any characters may need.
And over in Final Fantasy XIV, Thursday night Bosgen front nights are still going on. If you're working on your resistance weapon and you want to stick it to the evil empire as opposed to the other evil empire.
The empire, right.
Yeah. Come meet up at the FC House at 9:30 p.m. Eastern on Thursday nights. Map nights are still continuing. They're still profitable and they're still fun. So grab your 80 with all of the zone unlocked, your treasure hunting spirit, and of course treasure hunting unlocked, and good humor as well to meet on the lawn at the FC House at 9:30 EST on Saturdays. And we've gotten a lot more information on patch 5.4, Futures Rewritten. It's scheduled to release December 8th. And the proof that the patch is on the way is that there is a hype story trailer for the patch, which is really neat. There's also show notes in the check the show notes on AIE-guild.org for the link. It's on YouTube. It's pretty easy to find. If you're looking for more details from the live letter that explained all of these updates, you can watch it on demand. It's in Japanese, but you probably just look for one of the many translations. It's on the Reddit page for Final Fantasy XIV. There's plenty of them. There's plenty of YouTubers that have talked about it, so you can find something. And of course, down in our Final Fantasy XIV channel on the AIE Discord, we always jump on the patch notes as soon as they hit to talk about the details of the changes, so that we may not, so that we're not, off guard. It'll be covered in the patch previews. Jump on down. Hope to see you adventuring with us in Final Fantasy XIV.
Right, and an STO news. Fleet nights are Sunday at 8:30 p.m. and they are run by Dent. The projects are moving along nicely. Fleet Spire is at the very last project counting down. The Fleet Embassy had the last recruitment branch counting down, and once it completes, I'll have the final upgrade for a Tier 3 embassy to work on. Excellent work, folks.
Yeah, that's a huge deal. The whole guild houses, the guild house in Star Trek is 8 different properties. There's the space station that's like a big guild space station with a bunch of stuff in it. There's the mine, there's the embassy, so upgrading all of them and doing all the projects is a big deal in Star Trek because it gives you some of the best gear in the game. You can't get it until you unlock it in your Fleet Spire gets up to here, and then you get the special shield available to you. So
and that's
doing great.
While you're in a fleet, while you're in a guild, so you have the ability to work together with these resources.
Yeah,
exactly.
Again, AIE best place.
it's a long journey to put all the
Oh, I
resources
know.
together, and everybody
Yeah.
has to contribute, and the team's been doing really well there.
They've been
so
working
shout
on
out
it forever, and it's gorgeous to see that
True.
amount of work that they're doing on it.
Yeah, fun stuff.
All right. And lastly, but not least, Lord of the Rings Online. Saturday Night Live through December will be pretty lax. Saturday Night Lotro. Come hang out in voice and in game. With the Yuletide Festival coming next week, they will be hanging out in Frost Bluff. Things are being planned for
Yeah.
January, so please stay tuned to the Lotro channel in AIE Discord. And there's currently a 50% off sale on most expansion packs in the Lotro market.
Yeah, every Saturday. It's been pretty quiet, but Lucy and Mal are always in there on Saturday night. I try to pop in at least once in a while. The winter event is my favorite of the Lotro events for whatever reason. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
it's it's some good decos. I really like the cosmetic armor set. They have a new mount every year. So if you're gonna do one, it's a nice one. You can get the snowman. You can. There's even a little story. The whole thing is got a little story wrapped around it. And yeah, doing it 2 years, any 2 years, you sort of see both sides of the final choice if you want to go that way. So I'd recommend getting in and doing it.
Full.
Awesome.
All right. That's it for the news. Max and Sima, why don't we go ahead and talk about what's going on in SOTOR and the guild?
Let's do it.
Yeah. Shall we?
Why
Well,
don't you kick it off? You wrote most of the notes.
so let me start by saying that we do still do our MFN on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern. We oftentimes have 16 people, sometimes more. So it's very well attended on both sides, Imp side and the Republic side. We alternate weeks. We don't always do an operation though. Sometimes we do other various tasks. And I mean, here's a good opportunity to make a shout out to BC, who's B Kavanaugh, who runs our MFN, and he's always thinking of something creative for us to do, and he's always prepared, and he's excels at cat herding. So he really is making our MFN a fun night for everyone and making it possible. So it's really a great event.
What would B Kavanaugh do? He'd make a plan and see it through. That's what B Kavanaugh would do.
Yep.
That's right.
Nice.
That's right. We have 6 or 7, depending on how you count them, operations teams. So we're pretty much every night there's some kind of operation teams running, except for Friday and Saturday nights. And then 2 of our pub teams are on the same night, so they oftentimes combine to run 16-man. I say
Yeah.
I put 15-man in the notes, but it's 16-man. And then
16, whatever it takes.
Marcus is running Megas, which is a monthly Epic Guild occasion activity.
Occasion.
Occasion, right? That's once a month. That's usually some fun activity.
A little bit bigger than the normal
Yes.
MFN or
Yes.
event. Yeah, fun stuff.
Yeah. So the next one will be the December one or the January one. I'm not sure about December, but we'll know in plenty of advance time.
Well, I'm sure we'll at least we'll at least have a snowball night for the
Oh, yeah.
for the guild.
Yes, yes.
So.
And then we have a couple things that alternate on Friday nights, which is Flashpoints, which for SWTOR is sort of the dungeon. It's the 4-man. I mean, like in another game it might be 5-man, but in SWTOR it's 4-man groups, and they're running through to work on a particular achievement where if you do a certain number of master mode Flashpoints, you get a speeder. And then that alternates with a group that's doing achievements, like planetary achievements. So like on a planet, there'll be an achievement to kill 100 players of the other faction. So they work on stuff like that. So if you show up on a Friday night, there's always going to be something to do. That's what I say about Fridays, because you may not know if it's going to be Flashpoints or if it's going to be the achievements group, because you may have lost track of which was which that week. But
There's something.
Yeah.
And I did want to say that the SWTOR channel is the one that I see the most consistent pings for officer activity, because there's always
Yes.
someone joining the guild. So it's like every day there's at least 1 or 2 pings saying, "Hey, I need another character added. Hey, I need a character added." So there's definitely a lot of activity going on over there.
Yeah, it's been a good run. There's we've got 2 podcasts now. So the Working Class Nerds, that like the person that just joined this morning was from Working Class Nerds listener, and Marcus actually streams once or twice a week now as well. So there's that, and then there's our podcast. Our Tuesday night groups is half of the content that we run. We said Star Wars has been around for 9 years. Half of the content we run has been around since launch, or for 7 years or 6 years now.
Impressive.
Every week we get into an operation. Karaga's Palace, the second operation that was ever in the game. It's been around for 9 years. Has anyone not done this before? At least 2 people or 3 people every week. Never done this before.
Which is
Really?
awesome.
Yeah, love it. So because then I have story time.
And it makes sense because when they come in, the game's even saying, "Hey, let me give you a level 55 or level 60 or whatever
Right.
so you can do the recent stuff, and then you can go back and do all that old stuff," which has always been kind of a nice way they have it set up.
Yeah. So there's been a ton of that going on, and that's where we're getting these new people that just are new to Star Wars: The Old Republic overall, having a lot of fun with it, and that makes it really fun for us. Sorry, I interrupted the notes there.
Oh,
What else did
I interrupted
You know what?
first, so
Honestly, we're doing it live. There's,
We're doing it.
it's more of a general suggestion.
Oh, the
Right.
Friday thing. Did you talk about the Friday thing?
yeah, I did.
I always do that.
Yeah. You were not listening, but that's cool.
That's why she doesn't hear
I
you.
know.
This is our podcast every
Right,
Thursday.
right.
Oh, Seema, tell them about the tell them about the things we do on Friday. Yeah, that's what I just spent the last 5
Just
minutes
talked
doing,
about
Max. So yeah,
Yep.
thanks for listening.
With
It's a great partnership.
With respect to the game itself, we have an update coming up soon, probably in December, which is number 6.2. Will also include Life Day, which is the Christmas Eve celebration that they do every year, which typically lasts several weeks. I want to say 6 weeks,
Yeah.
but is it that long? It's really long.
Maybe only 4.
Yeah,
As
it
long
might
as
be 4 weeks.
nightlife.
What planet is that Life Day on that it's so long? Like it's a really slow-moving planet.
Right.
Well, it's a galactic wide. Yeah.
The main
that's a long
feature
game.
of Life Day is throwing snowballs, at least
is.
in AIE.
Yeah.
Well, but I forgot until we
And
just started
hugging
talking about
Wookiees.
it. They added the Wookiees.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot
You
about
can,
that too.
if you hug 1,000 Wookiees, 1,000 hugs, then there's an achievement for that.
I'm going to stay up
Wow.
all night till 5:30 a.m. hugging
No,
Wookiees this
don't
time.
do it, Seema. Don't do it.
No. You're not in college anymore.
Say-
The update that I mentioned is going to have a new flashpoint, which is called Spirit of Vengeance.
Yeah.
It's a Mandalorian
Story.
story, but not that Mandalorian. I
Right,
mean, remember
yeah.
Right.
Not the yeah.
Yeah.
the time setting of SWTOR is many years before the Mandalorian.
Was it
TV
like
show.
2,000 or 3,000?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, also,
It's a Vizsla story though.
it is a Vizsla
uh,
story.
So
Yeah.
it's a Shay Vizsla's command ship.
She's
She's
pretty
the
cool.
current Mandalore. And
It's cool.
3 other sort of renegade clans, Clan Varad, so 3 other renegade clans decide they're going to assault her ship and loot it, and so Shay says, "Hey, let's go kick some butt." So it's cool. We did it for the podcast. You can see in our last episode. We recorded, we ran it, recorded it, and then just talked about it and fast forwarded, showed some stuff. Usual Flashpoint, 4 bosses, but very Mandalorian, very Star Wars Old Republic Mandalorian style and fights, and a couple The Mandalorian Easter eggs built into
Nice.
it.
Ooh.
Yep.
So
It's exciting.
they're
I just want to know when
definitely
that
throwing some of that in.
that Beskar weapon from the last episode
Holy
is going to be up
crap.
on the cartel market.
Well, Jin Djarin's rifle
Mhm.
is in the
Mhm.
game now.
Oh,
In
nice.
fact,
Neat.
I'll pull it up out of the cartel shop. It's a rifle though, and the only class that uses a rifle is
Yeah.
Sniper.
the trooper.
Right.
Trooper.
It's not a sniper rifle; it's a blaster rifle.
Right.
Oh, so it's a
Oh,
trooper.
right.
That's wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, it's really disappointing because it's got an ability that no other weapon has ever had, which is if you kill something with it, it does a disintegration effect. So it's
Oh,
got a kill
nice.
effect. And so whoever you shoot, whatever mob you
disintegration.
shoot, it gets no disintegrations. It gets a
Yes.
disintegration.
I'm gonna have to get that. Is that on the cartel market?
Yeah, I thought you could even buy it separately. It's part of the infamous Bounty Hunter bundle. I'm looking at it
Okay.
right now.
And Den says it's trooper and operative.
That's it. Yeah, because I know there's one on each
operatives can
side.
use blaster rifles.
Probably
use
one of the specs
Stabby
probably
knives.
can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Operative is. Oh, what did I just do? Did I just
Well, Dent would know.
Did you just buy something, Max?
your infamous Bounty Hunter bundle has? Oh, I did. I bought it and I returned it. What am-
Nice.
Oh, I hit buy now on accident. I was trying to see details, show items. That's what I wanted.
Yeah, there you go.
See, this is why I don't talk and play at the same time.
Right.
Yeah, I bought it and then I went into the tab that showed what I bought and I was trying to click on it again and returned it. So lucky for me, I guess, because it's
Yeah.
like it's like 4,800 credits for the whole set because it's
Yeah.
an
Wow.
armor set, it's the weapon, it's
That you can't use.
a
And by
bunch of-
credits, he
bunch of
means
stuff.
cartel coins.
Yes.
cartel
Yes.
coins. Yeah,
Your credits are not good here.
only money. We don't take Republic credits here.
Yeah.
Only
Hmm.
money.
Oh, 4,800 is like how many months of cartel coins?
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
Like-
Yeah.
So,
4 months?
yeah.
Yeah.
4?
What do
If
you-
you're getting 500 a
Yeah,
month
it-
or
Oh,
600
that's
a
right,
month with,
500. Yeah.
weapon. That's the bundle. Oh, here it is. It's
there it
the
is. Oh, nice.
Amgen blaster rifle. So
Oh,
it even has the like little
that's
electric
gorgeous.
shock effect. I know it's really hard to see here.
Yeah,
'cause
no.
it's very small for everybody, but it's got the fork thing on the front, the electric shock effect, and then when you shoot something with it, it disintegrates.
Okay, I may
Super
need to
cool.
get that.
Cool. Yeah, and then then when they add in appearance customization for weapons, then we can change our.
Right.
I can dual wield.
Exactly.
Yeah.
those blaster rifles.
But
Yes.
speaking of
Excellent.
rewards,
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So the two other things that are coming in the patch. There's they're adding login rewards, and it's a pretty good system. I was a little worried because I don't like login rewards where it's like the ESO is on the edge for me because the good reward is usually on the 20th time you log in within a month, and then they reset at the end of the month. So if you don't log in 20 times within the month, then
You
you
lose
get
it.
something different every day, but you don't get the good thing on the
Right.
20th
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
The way this works is there's like 28, so it's kind of like a month. There's 28 login rewards until it resets, but it never resets until
Right.
you get to the end. So if you log in 28 days, in the next
over the
6
span
months,
of 6 months,
you'll
yeah.
just keep progressing, and on the 7th day it's a little bit bigger thing,
Mhm.
and then you go all the way through the 28th day, and then there's 3 different sets, and it'll randomly give you a different set. Subscribers do have a weekly thing that resets on the week, but you log in 4 times any 4 days throughout the week, and you get the weekly reward. So that's okay.
Nice.
I was okay with it. Oh, and then Seema, because she RPs all the time. I'll just talk about the last one. I'll switch over. I'll do some. I'll go to the dance floor, and you can talk about the emotes and the dances while I
Oh,
dance.
so
on
there's
screen.
a bunch of emotes in the game. There's hundreds of them, and so they're putting in like a little UI to make it easier to pick them, because before it was pretty much you just pick them from a drop down list.
Right.
And this is going to be like
Very
pages that you can organize to a certain extent. And I do RP because, like, look at my outfit.
Well, yeah.
I'm RP. I tried to make an outfit that looked like Fennec Shand from The Mandalorian.
Perfect.
I mean, I'm
yeah.
no Thawne. I need advice from Thawne how to make it better, but
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's a pretty solid RP community though on our server.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jedi Covenant. If you go to the fleet the Imperial fleet, and you just stand around the bar that's sort of like part of the, it's the whole lower level interior center of the fleet, you can see a lot of people, and they must be doing whispers because they're like, they're like nose to nose, face to face,
Right.
and they're emoting. And then you can overhear like public, like /say kind of discussions, and they're into it. And they've got like backstories. They've got, it's all, they don't use like, /wave. They do Max, glanced slyly to the side and saw Seaman at the corner of his eye, took one last drink of his Corellian cocktail, and gave her a nod. That's like all written out.
Yep.
Like,
Seema
he's good.
punched Max.
Seema
And then
Back of
didn't
the
heal
head.
him.
For being an idiot and not listening to what she said.
Not listening. Literally, she just said what he was asking. What he was asking her about.
Seema, should we get a drink? I just ordered a Max.
God, you moron.
Did you not hear me?
Uh,
Max once again stares off into the distance, not paying attention. So this
guys need a whole
is a
show of this.
decoration. So we're in our guild stronghold. We have a guild ship on both sides, and we have a guild stronghold, which is sort of like a base you can decorate.
This is where we have our
This-
beach parties.
Yeah. So this is the beach. We got a bunch of stuff. Really cool. These decos are costume stations. Like here,
Oh.
if I click on this, I can turn into a Bith band member.
I'm a cosplayer. I approve of this idea.
This one will turn me into a cantina dancer of some kind. Let's see. Oh no, this turns me into the cantina droid.
oh, the
forgot.
kitchen droid.
The kitchen droid from the feast event.
Nice.
But this dance floor over here, because we're in the same group. Just showed me your thing.
There, now I'm a
Oh, it changed because we're in a group. It changed me to one too.
Oh,
Huh.
nice. Very cool.
But
Our-
this deco over here, this dance floor, that came from the nightlife event. If you click on this, it has your character do a random dance of any of the possible dances in the game. So you don't even have, it's even ones that you don't have unlocked, and there's like 50 different dances.
Nice.
So this is a fun one. We use this all the time for our guild events.
All right.
Yeah, so lots of fun stuff, lots of great events that players have put together. Oh, I'll throw one more note out because he's trying to get it going. We've got a player. In fact, I got to reply to him here. Strike Zone. So Strike Zone is just a player. He's got a cool jacket, and this is real life, and wanted a Star Wars The Old Republic AIE patch for his jacket. He designed one. He posted it in the channel and said, "Hey, if you want to go in on this, I've got like a minimum order. I'm trying to see if some people want it. If you want one, if you want to go in on it, sign up." So he did voting just to see how many people were interested in general. He's going to put a Google form out there at cost. He's going to get a bulk order together. Hopefully, he can get enough to sort of meet the minimum. But if you want one of the patches he designed, that's going on the SWTOR channel. So there you go.
Awesome.
All right.
Is it tomorrow? Did we?
No,
but it is
at
dinner
least not
time.
here. It is dinner time. Yes, before D&D. All right. Well, that is our show for this evening. While the chat room begins suggesting titles, Maximo, thank you so much for joining us. I know this was a supersized episode, and it was well worth it because we had a lot of news in both games to talk about.
Yep.
Thank you for having us. It's always a joy.
Yes.
Anytime,
absolutely.
anytime.
All right. If you have questions or comments about the show, you can email us at podcast@aie-guild.org. You can follow us on Twitter. The show is at AIE Podcast. Mew is at the Mew Cow. McCullough is at Cyberwave. And I am at Ivory Tiger. We record live with video every other Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Max time. You can join the chat room and play along with us on our website, aie-guild.org/podcast-live-stream. And our Discord server for chat is aie-guild.info/discord. And for past episodes, you can see them on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/the AIE Podcast. Our theme was composed by the amazing Andrew Allen. Follow him at Keys with Soul. And visit his website at andrewallenmusic.com.
Oh, now we have a last-minute edition.
Yep.
Looks
But I
like
forgot
we...
to include.
Yep. So this is the time when we play our AIE member segments, including Ask Buxley this week.
Yep. He is back.
Woohoo.
Excellent. All right. And I want to say here's the importance of watching the podcast instead of just listening to it. What the listeners are going to miss is the fact that our cat,
Yeah.
who is the most aloof creature on the planet, was on Tet's desk for a good portion of the show and then proceeded to come upstairs and get on my desk and was actually playing my microphone as we were recording.
Yes.
So if you ever want a reason to watch the podcast instead of just listen, that would be why. All right. So by the way, this is our last show of the year. It's now time for our annual podcast break. So we're going to be back in January, well rested and well gamed. So until then, AIE, this is Makala.
This is Tetsemi.
This is Mew Cow.
And this has been the AIE Podcast.
Yay!
Later, everyone.
Oh my God, those titles are awesome.
They are.
The question I had is so after hugging 1,000 Wookiees, are your arms going to fall off from the hugging or from the Wookiees pulling them off?
Yes,
Or
right.
from your ribs being crushed.
Oh,
It's
well,
pretty
that's my hand,
satisfying.
exactly.
They did a good job on the animation of
Yeah.
when you're hugging them.
Yeah, I have
Wow.
an animated GIF somewhere of the hugging emote.
Yeah, Dan says you can't get the smell off you.
Yeah.
All right. Chat room, just so we can speed things along. Please contribute any more show titles you have. I'm going to let Max and Seema pick from what we've got, and I'm going to cut the stream.
Connect
just
and
a
start
little.
dinner.
Yep,
Yes.
exactly. So,
All right. Thank you
chat room.
guys.